UMD, MIT, Stanford, they're all big name colleges and they all have one thing in common: higher education. Just kidding, they have a lot of things in common. But one thing they do all have in common is they have robotics programs. And more specifically, they have VexU, which stands for Vex University. And now I bet some of you are like, Amber, what the heck is Vex? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why am I here? And I promise I'll explain everything in just a few short seconds. And obviously, you not knowing what it is, I will be telling you about it today. But my goal is also to help me gain supporters in my journey of creating a stout team and how it can benefit not only me, you, but also the college itself. For a college that prides itself in being a hands-on education world, especially in the STEAM fields, it is really surprising we don't have anything like it. And as I went to high school, I was on the team for 4 years. I became assistant coach to younger kids even. And every year my team went to state or above. And by above, I meant we went to the world championship where we competed with everyone from around the world. It's a great accomplishment, especially in the robotics world. And to get there, you have to go through a lot of challenges. And it is not an easy task, and we take a lot of pride to get there. So first, obviously, I'm going to be telling you about what exactly Vex is and why we should have a team put together here at Stout. But I will inform you why it is important to the college itself, why we should have one. So Vex is a worldwide robotics competition where the only thing that stays the same is the playing field. It is in a 12 by 12-foot square, but inside the game elements, the game rules, the game itself, it changes every year. So you never can have the same thing. It's not like basketball where maybe minor rules change every 5 years. Nothing stays the same. And there's a lot of rules. Think of football, basketball, soccer, all the rules put together on steroids, except you're not actually moving any of your body parts. You're building a robot, programming it, and then hoping it works, which is a very, very hard thing to accomplish in a very short amount of time. Normally, the matches last about 2 minutes, and half of that is autonomous, which means the robot has to know where to go on its own. This is part of the programming part of it. You program your robot into completing whatever task is each year. My first year, the game was stars and cubes, and we had to throw objects over. Another year, we had to stack different objects. This last year, we had to throw and then play King of the Hill with another robot. Every year, it's a little bit different, so no team actually gets to keep the same robot every year, which is part of the fun of it, is it's not the same old, same old. It doesn't get boring. It's a new challenge every year. Now, in my survey I conducted with a lot of my friends and some family members, I have figured out that a lot of the kids here at this college have no idea what it is, or they've heard of it, but don't really know much about it. And most of them surprisingly said they would like to know more, so I'm hoping I get some more supporters in my journey here of getting a team at Stout itself. So, in total, there's about 1,400 teams in the world. And now that may seem like a small amount, but it doesn't take much to be a team, and it's really, really surprising that no one here has created one. You need 2 people. That's it, and you could be a team. So for 2 people to decide we don't want to do this, it's kind of surprising, and it makes me feel like there isn't enough awareness of the sport itself. And with a college like this, where literally half the kids are STEAM majors, at least 15 of you are in engineering class with me. I know you are. So it's very surprising. Now, some may say, well, I did it in high school, it was expensive. You're right, it can be expensive. But part of the benefit that I get into with for Stout is they can make relationships with different companies and get their foot in the door, so it helps them in other cases. Like, I know the U of M created a deal with a local company that does welding and manufacturing. They give them all their scrap parts, and their VexU team uses their scrap parts for their actual robot. And then in return, the school them money and business because they redirect all their engineering kids to go there. So they get more money in that process. And the college gets awareness because if your team continues to grow up and go to the world competition, everyone is looking at you and where you came from. And when I say that kids look at that to go to that college, they do. And one of my biggest factors was, is there a college that has a robotics team? Because I loved it so much, and I know other kids do too. According to robotics.org, having VexU provides students the opportunity to grow and excel as both individuals and a team. And as a personal participant, I can agree that without it, I would not have even gotten my first job. My first job relied heavily on my knowledge in robotics that I gained. If you asked my friends about 2 years ago, I was not confident in anything I did. But then I had a bigger role in my robotics community, and that just, it shifted from a whole new level. And now I'm probably one of the most outgoing people you will meet outside of the classroom. In the classroom, it is a different story. Now, VexU is considered a stepping stone for a lot of kids who joined. They usually never regret it. I have not met a person who has joined and said, "Ugh, I hated that." They've always said it was fun, but maybe it just wasn't for them. But no one has ever said they hated it. And I'm sure you've all heard the horror stories of sports where they all go and are like, "Ah, my coach made me run." Ugh, you never have to run in robotics. It's literally the most you have to do is lift a robot. Not that hard. And as for benefits for the kids themselves, according to an article by Purdue Online, they discuss the benefits of having this as a background. And in the medical field and educational field, where using real people to learn on is kind of dangerous, they use robotics as a stand in. And having the base knowledge that they learn in VEX itself is really beneficial for these kids. Like basic programming, you learn that by doing this. And by having that, they gain a bigger base knowledge than just an average Joe coming up off the streets hoping to learn something quick. So, in conclusion, robotics is a huge up-and-coming program that I believe Stout should incorporate in their clubs because it could be beneficial for me, it could be beneficial for the college, it could help us gain more funding. We are in a building where we can literally make things with 3D printers, foundries down the block, and it has many benefits to both the school and the kids. So the next time you see an advertisement for BattleBots on TV or career that even involves robotics, I hope you think of this and how having a robotics team or being a part of it could be beneficial for not only me, but you too.